We have some big news right now. The White House and MAGA Republicans are freaking out after Donald Trump did not win the Nobel Peace Prize.
Nobel Peace Prize was given to Obama for literally just being black, and then they don't give it to Trump for stopping literally 8 conflicts internationally. Congratulations to Maria Machado.
Speaking of ridiculous, undeserved Nobel Peace Prize winners, did you know Barack Obama holds the dubious distinction of being the only Nobel Peace Prize winner to bomb another Nobel Peace Prize winner?
MAGA, if you have to get online and beg for a Nobel Peace Prize, then 9 times out of 10, you do not deserve that Peace Prize. Putting aside that Trump is chasing a black man's success.
They really said Obama only won Nobel Prize because he was a black. And the Trump, he was out there acting like they robbed him of world peace. Even Maria jumped in like she's running for president of MAGA land. Oh, this is one of the craziest thing I've ever seen. Let's get into it. Yo, what's up? This is Leak and welcome back to the Leaker's Take. Here we keep it real, react to the madness online and say what everyone else is scared to say. So guys, grab your seat and let's dive into this MAGA meltdown over Nobel Prize.
We have some big news right now. The White House and MAGA Republicans are freaking out after Donald Trump did not win the Nobel Peace Prize today. Instead, with the Nobel Committee awarding it to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, who is very well deserving of this extraordinary prize. And they're not happy because they thought that Donald Trump not only should win, but they're also not happy because he lost to a Latina woman. Laura Loomer, one of Donald Trump's closest people on the internet, says, "Imagine thinking a woman who cries nonstop about Nicolas Maduro has done more for the world than President Trump. What an absolute joke. Everyone knows Trump deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. More affirmative action nonsense." White House Communications Director Stephen Chung said on his official account, "President Trump will continue making peace deals, ending wars and saving lives. He has the heart of a humanitarian, and there will be never be anyone like him who can move mountains with the sheer force of his will. The Nobel Committee proved they place politics over peace." Not happy at the White House this morning, so spread the word. We're waiting for Trump's reaction. Follow along for more.
Nobel Peace Prize was given to Obama for literally just being black, and then they don't give it to Trump for stopping literally 8 conflicts internationally. Congratulations to Maria Machado. She's the exiled leader of Venezuela who tried to take on Maduro. But again, this is kind of ridiculous. Once you give somebody the Nobel Peace Prize for just being black, I'm sorry, you lose all credibility to me. That's why I think things like the Oscars and the Grammys are kind of silly, because it's like a bunch of people in shadow rooms deciding, and a lot of them are indoctrinated and have their own bias and sometimes politics involved. The world is going to look back and know who should have and who really won the Nobel Peace Prize in the hearts of the entire world. Also, please remember, since they already had a DEI award that they gave to Obama, this is probably another DEI award since Maria's a woman. It's kind of ironic that she would get it since she's asking for a revolution in her own country so she can be put in power. Rightfully so. I'm just saying, it's kind of ironic.
Speaking of ridiculous, undeserved Nobel Peace Prize winners, did you know Barack Obama holds the dubious distinction of being the only Nobel Peace Prize winner to bomb another Nobel Peace Prize winner? Seriously, on the morning of October 3rd, 2015, at the Kunduz Hospital in Afghanistan, run by Médecins Sans Frontières, or Doctors Without Borders, another Nobel Peace Prize winner, an AC-130 gunship on orders from Barack Obama himself tore into it. There were around 110 patients in the hospital, around 80 staff. 42 people were unalived that day by this AC-130 gunship. The U.S. government, the U.S. military, Barack Obama personally apologized for the incident, said it was a mistake. But the fact that a Nobel Peace Prize winner could ever bomb another Nobel Peace Prize winner, tells me that prize is a joke. It's a clown show. And the fact that it went to an imperialist, anti-communist, reactionary, Zionist stooge like Maria Corina Machado yesterday. I mean, all you need to know. It's a joke.
President Obama just slammed Donald Trump for one of the first times since Trump got inaugurated, and every word of what he said here is true. Just take a look.
Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me just, I just want to be clear about this. Imagine that Imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening. Imagine if I'd said to law firms that were representing parties that were upset with policies my administration had initiated, that you will not be allowed into government buildings. We will punish you economically for dissenting from the Affordable Care Act or the Iran deal. We will ferret out students who protest against my policies. It's unimaginable.
All right, let's start with Trump himself. This man really think he deserves Nobel Prize for what exactly? Golf, Twitter fights, or trade wars? And his fans are losing it, saying Obama didn't deserve it. Only he got it because he was black. Bro, it's been more than 10 years. Look at them, man. Like someone stole their lunch money. Crazy. And then Maria Corina jumping like she's auditioning for Trump fan club. Who even asking her? I mean, imagine being in another country just to defend him. That is dedication, or it is depression? How can I call it?
Well, surprise, surprise, Trump lost the Nobel Peace Prize to a Venezuelan woman named Maria Corina Machado, a lifelong diplomat and activist for democracy in Venezuela and a target of the Maduro regime, who's actually threatened her and her family so much she's had to go into hiding. She was given the Nobel Prize by the committee today. The White House says they clearly chose politics over peace. And the Nobel Committee signaled at a time when democracy seems to be backsliding globally that they're monitoring who's actually fighting for democracy and who's working against it. I wonder if Trumpelstiltskin is working for or against democracy with continuing to send National Guard troops into American cities led by Democrats, or, sending the National Guard now over to the I country to help with humanitarian aid as part of his peace deal. That sounds so very peaceful, doesn't it? Well, congratulations to Maria Corina Machado. I wish you all of the best for you and your family. Most of all, I wish you peace and safety.
Okay, so like many of you guys, I am also picking my very disappointed jaw off of the floor after just celebrating Maria Corina Machado's Nobel Peace Prize win this morning, only to see that she dedicated it to Trump. Because what do you mean a woman who has dedicated the last 20 years of her life to fighting for democracy just praised the guy whose administration is seemingly trying to undo all of that actively? Like this morning, that announcement felt like such a clear moral win, only to be followed by something that feels like a dagger to the heart, like a complete betrayal. Because unfortunately, in this political climate, dedications matter, symbolism matters, because somehow we are both so sensitive and yet desensitized to everything right now. And it's not hard to feel betrayed, especially when a cause we care so much about gets entangled with someone that we just do not respect. And during the spiral, this comment came and it just made me realize that maybe she does not align with all of his beliefs and policies and everything this administration is trying to push. Maybe she just sees that they have a shared enemy, which is Maduro, Venezuela's current president, because Trump has been very vocal against him. And you know, they do say an enemy of my enemy is my friend. I don't know much about this woman. I clearly have a lot of homework to do, but fighting for democracy, considering what we're doing here in the States, seems like a very important task. So I don't want to diminish all of her efforts just because she mentioned this other guy. Maybe this is just an alliance stance against Maduro and not full-on support and alignment with everything else that's going on with the other guy. I don't know. Can you chime in? Can we process this together? It's so messy, but what everything else is.
Well. So Daddy Dumpy Pants didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, and people all across the interwebs today are celebrating in a big way because that Nobel Peace Prize went a Hispanic woman's way. And I don't mean to piss in your Cheerios today, but there's more to this story, and you need to see it and spread it expeditiously, okay? Okay, hold on while I grab you the screenshot, and then we'll talk about this. According to reporting out of Politico today, the Venezuelan opposition leader dedicates her Nobel Peace Prize to Trump for decisive support. I dedicate this prize to the suffering people of Venezuela and to the President Trump for his decisive support of our cause. Sorry, didn't mean to piss in your Cheerios on this Friday, baby. But there you have it. Now let's connect some dots here. What is Daddy Dumpy Pants and Petey Kegsbreath currently doing in the Caribbean, friend? That's right, committing war crimes. Claiming that they're taking out Venezuelan drug trafficking terrorists. But we already know that one of those boats had Colombians on them, dear. Citizens, not terrorists, not drug traffickers, just some Colombian men. So, are you starting to connect the dots here, dear? Yes. Now, I'm not for the guy who is currently running Venezuela. And I thought I was for this lady right here. But now that the dots are connecting today, and I'm seeing that maybe, just maybe, she's using Daddy Dumpy Pants and the U.S. military to commit war crimes for her to possibly remove the other guy so she could have that seat, well, it starts to make me think she's really not about peace. I guess you could say maybe she's okay with blowing away fellow Venezuelans today and Colombians too. It's not a good look for you, boo. It is not a good look for you, boo. And it never works out well for those who decide to play with that orange guy on any day. But please, share this bit of tea expeditiously, because I can see people all across the globe today that are happy that that Nobel Peace Prize did not go Daddy's way. So let's show them the entirety of this play. Shall we? Okay.
Here there is funny part. Obama never asked for Nobel Prize. He was actually surprised he won. But Trump, he has been begging for it, like, please give me Peace Prize for my good vibes. You know, that's like asking for medal, trying to get, medal. And honestly, this shows how political fan base goes extremely instead of celebrating their real achievement. They are crying when their favorite doesn't win. That is not leadership, that is insecurity with red heart. And that is, my friend, this is real meltdown we are watching. I got another one, let's watch it. I'll come back with a comment.
MAGA, if you have to get online and beg for a Nobel Peace Prize, then 9 times out of 10, you do not deserve that Peace Prize. Putting aside that Trump is chasing a black man's success, there has been no peace in the United States. There has been no peace in the United States. You've attacked the farmers and their subsidies. You've attacked them and you've given money to Argentina. You've deployed the military on your own citizens, even when there is no reason to be deploying the military, especially when we're talking about places like DC, Chicago, who have seen significant drops in crime. You still deploy them there. I'm sorry, how many shootings have we had in the last couple of months, including the Charlie Kirk shooting? Somebody point me to where the peace is in this country. Okay? So while we're sitting here joking and saying, yeah, man, Donald Trump, you should have a Nobel Peace Prize. There's no peace in the United States right now. There's no peace abroad. He blew up a Venezuelan vessel that was confirmed to not be carrying any drugs on it. What are we talking about here? I don't understand. We're talking about the guy who wants to turn the Gaza Strip into a whole bunch of hotels and ocean fronts and kick those people out of those specific areas. There's no peace here. There's no peace in this country. There's no peace abroad when it comes to the United States. We're talking about a guy who withdrew military aid from Ukraine. Let's stop it. Let's stop the bullshit. Let's stop the cap. Let's stop it.
The Nobel Peace Prize was just announced in Norway, and it was awarded to Maria Corina Machado. She is the leader of the opposition in Venezuela against Maduro. It was not awarded to the President of the United States, as the President of the United States wanted it to be. Why? Because Maria Corina Machado is one of the best examples of the defense of democracy. For months, for years, she has dedicated her life to try to bring democracy to Venezuela. She won elections. She has not been allowed to have a transition of power or a transition from a dictatorship to a democracy for Venezuela. She is the type of person that is risking her life, her family, and everything she has to bring democracy to her country. On the other hand, doing one good deed, doing one, or let's say hypothetically to be true, 8 peace deals, but take away the rights of people, throw people into camps, send armies into cities to crush dissent, attack your political enemies. Those two things don't go together. You can do the peace deal on one side, but then you're destroying your country on the inside. You're probably not going to get the Nobel Peace Prize. I'm Alex, this is my rant, and I'm out.
That is it for today. As Leakers take, if you laughed, you learned, or you got tricked, you know what to do. Hit the like, drop your thought in the comments, and subscribe, because more crazy clips are coming on your way. Stay sharp, stay read. It's Leakers take, and I'm out. See you in the next one. I love you guys.